Good day, everyone. This is Mark Vello, and you're listening to Headline News. Biden says he has not discussed with Xi Jinping about CCP virus origins. While the Chinese Communist Party's dumping about the source of the CCP virus, COVID-19, has sparked widespread criticism of the U.S., President Joe Biden has not taken a position on the issue. For the first time on Tuesday, April 6, he said he has not yet spoken with Chinese leader Xi Jinping about the origins of the virus. At a White House press conference about vaccinating 150 million Americans against the virus, Biden was asked by a reporter who noted that 554,064 people have now died from COVID-19 in the United States. Have you had the chance to ask Xi if these reports are true, that China maybe misled the world at the beginning? Biden replied to him, "I have not had that conversation with President Xi." Biden's comments came just days after the World Health Organization, WHO, released its mission report on the virus, concluding that the possibility of the CCP virus being leaked from a lab was extremely unlikely, and that the possibility of the virus being passed from bats to humans through intermediary hosts was likely, and it was possible but not likely to originate from contaminated cold chain food. The report has since been heavily criticized. Even WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus publicly stated that the Chinese Communist Party did not cooperate well with the investigation. The United States joined 14 national governments in issuing an official joint statement, voicing shared concerns that the international expert study on the source of the SARS-CoV-2 virus was significantly delayed and lacked access to complete original data and samples. The United States called on the WHO mission for expert-driven Phase 2 studies conducted independently by international experts without restrictions. For more than a year, the Chinese Communist Party has blocked independent investigations into the origins of the CCP virus since it hit the world. Early this year, a team of WHO virus traceability experts was granted access to China. However, the study was severely delayed and restricted in many ways. In addition, since March last year, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian has been claiming that the virus did not originate in China, but in a U.S. military laboratory. Just as the WHO report was released to the public, he once again said at a press conference that the virus originated at the U.S. Army's Fort Detrick, Maryland Biological Laboratory. Later, another Chinese Communist Party spokesperson, Hua Chunying, also publicly supported Zhao Lijian's claim, pointing the finger at the U.S. military lab. The U.S. State Department on Monday, April 5th, condemned the CCP's claims as false, baseless, and unscientific, which undermines the spirit and purpose of an impartial origins investigation. Pence's new agency advances MAGA's conservative policies. Former Vice President Mike Pence on Wednesday, April 7th, launched Advancing American Freedom, an organization that aims to integrate traditional culture with the MAGA movement. It will seek to defend the policies of the Trump and Pence administrations. The new organization has been praised by former President Trump. The advisory board of Advancing American Freedom includes many figures from the Trump White House, including Kellyanne Conway and White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow, Trump's Office of Management and Budget Director Russ Vought, and conservative figures such as former Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker and former Ambassador to Israel, David Friedman. Advancing American Freedom plans to build on the success of the last 4 years by promoting traditional conservative values and promoting the successful policies of the Trump administration, Pence's office said in a statement. Conservatives will not stand idly by as the radical left and the new administration attempt to threaten America's standing as the greatest nation in the world with their destructive policies, Pence said. And the group has the backing of former President Donald Trump himself. It was the most successful first term in American history. Nice to see Mike highlighting some of our many achievements, Trump noted in a statement. The Washington Examiner noted that Pence has kept quiet since leaving office. He has spent time with his family while developing a portfolio designed to maintain political influence. He joined the Young America's Foundation and served as a distinguished fellow at the Heritage Foundation. But now his assistants say that with the border crisis and the administration's intention to raise taxes, it's time for Pence to reappear in the public. The new organization will be headquartered in Washington, D.C., and its programs will be organized as follows. Advancing American Freedom promotes and defends the successful policies of recent years that yielded unprecedented prosperity at home and restored America's strength abroad, while elevating traditional American values. AAF serves the conservative movement by developing innovative policy solutions, strategies, coalitions, and messaging that builds upon those accomplishments, expands freedom for all Americans, and hampers anything that would threaten America's standing as the greatest nation on the face of the earth. Paul Teller, a longtime Pence aide who served as the Vice President's Director of Strategic Initiatives, will serve as Executive Director of his agency. Pence was previously publicly denounced for opposing President Trump's call for him to question ahead of a joint meeting in January, but Trump's endorsement of his new advocacy group suggests that the two have a better relationship than has been reported. The Washington Examiner noted that a source with knowledge of the U.S. media previously revealed that Pence's first grandchild was born earlier this month, after which the former President Trump called to offer his congratulations. Aides dismissed speculation that the advocacy group was a springboard for Pence's presidential bid, saying next year's midterm elections and setting a policy agenda are the focus. Suga seeks to visit India and Philippines in late April to strengthen cooperation against CCP threat. Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga is scheduled to visit India and the Philippines in line with the Golden Week of national holidays in Japan. It would be his first face-to-face meetings with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte. The Golden Week holiday in Japan falls between April 29th to May 5th. Gigi Press reported that Suga wishes to take this opportunity to strengthen cooperation with these countries against the growing threat of the CCP. He's also hoping to advance the Free and Open Indo-Pacific Initiative. Kyodo News noted that economic ties, including cybersecurity, are also likely to be strengthened at the meeting. Japan and India had signed the Acquisition and Cross-Servicing Agreement, ACSA, between the Self-Defense Forces, SDF, of Japan and the Indian Army in September last year. Under this agreement, the Japanese Self-Defense Forces and the Indian Armed Forces can share supplies such as food, fuel, and spare parts, as well as use each other's military facilities and transportation services during joint exercises. In addition, this year marks the 65th anniversary of the normalization of diplomatic relations between Japan and the Philippines, and the 10th anniversary of the bilateral strategic partnership. This visit will be an opportunity for Japan and the Philippines to further strengthen their relationship. In recent years, the CCP authorities have been eager to expand their influence both militarily and economically. In response to this challenge from the CCP, Japan hopes to strengthen the Quadrilateral Alliance, also known as the Quadrilateral Security Dialogue, with the United States, Japan, Australia, and India. India, for its part, has strengthened its ties with Japan and the United States because of tensions over its border dispute with China. The Philippines has also hardened its attitude toward the CCP because of the South China Sea issue. According to reports, Japan has already coordinated the visit and will make a final decision depending on the situation of the pandemic. This concludes today's broadcast. Thank you for your time, and stay tuned for the next headline news.